You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic. You can go and subscribe, cause I be on it right. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic.
Now, this would be a dream scenario for the Chicago Bears in this year's NFL Draft. Hey, what's going on, Bears fans? Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Keek on the Mic, the podcast all about the Chicago Bears. As always, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. You guys have seen many different mock drafts from many different content creators or analysts and so on, just giving our opinions on what we actually think the Chicago Bears should do, especially with the first two picks in the very first round in the 2024 NFL Draft. And you guys have seen many different combinations of us saying that we should draft a quarterback or wide receiver, or quarterback or left tackle, the wide receiver or tight end, wide receiver or left tackle, and even a QB and edge rushers. You guys have seen every single combination in the book, Bears fans. But on today's episode of Keek on the Mic, I am going to do another quick little 2-round mock draft. And personally, Bears fans, let me tell you guys this. I have not seen anyone do this combination yet in terms of what we think we should do with the first two picks in this year's NFL Draft. But if this actually happened for Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears and actually fell this way, this would be an absolute cheat code for Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears in this year's NFL Draft. So as always, as I'm going through this quick little 2-round Chicago Bears mock draft right here on Keek on the Mic, make sure you guys engage with me. Make sure you guys tell me what you guys would do if you guys were Ryan Poles' shoes for this year's NFL Draft. So as we all know, the Chicago Bears only have 2 first-round picks in the very first 2 rounds in the 2024 NFL Draft. So for the purpose of today's video, this little 2-round Chicago Bears mock draft right here on Keek on the Mic, I'm going to start out with a little trade. Obviously, I'm going to trade with the New England Patriots. The Bears will receive the number 3 overall pick, number 34 overall in round 2, a 2024 4th-round pick, and a 2025 first and second round pick from the New England Patriots. As you guys all know, I absolutely love trading with the New England Patriots. You trade back 2 spots to number 3 overall. You get a next year's first and second round pick. You recoup that second round pick from this year that you lost in trading for Montez Sweat. And then the Chicago Bears are in business already. You guys all know that I'm going to continue to build around quarterback Justin Fields. I feel like that is the best case scenario for Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears moving forward. But in round 1, pick number 3, once again, I am picking wide receiver Marvin Harrison Jr. I feel like with this pick at this point, I don't have to do a lot of talking, Bears fans. This is a no-brainer pick, especially if you are building around Justin Fields. Give him another big-time weapon. Marvin Harrison Jr. is arguably the best player in this entire draft, maybe after Caleb Williams, just depending on what some people think. But to me, Marvin Harrison Jr. is the best player in this draft. I feel like he is the best wide receiver in this year's draft class. This would be absolutely game-changing for the Chicago Bears. It would be absolutely game-changing for Justin Fields, and it would be absolutely game-changing for a guy like DJ Moore. Marvin Harrison Jr. is a true outside threat at the wide receiver position. This would then allow DJ Moore to move into the slot. Once again, we just hired Shane Waldron as our new offensive coordinator. I think Shane Waldron would definitely approve this move as well. It would give him another shiny weapon to use within his West Coast style offense. I think overall, the Chicago Bears would be really, really happy with a guy like Marvin Harrison Jr., and so would I. So after I have the Bears taking wide receiver Marvin Harrison Jr. with the 3rd overall pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, I'm now moving to the 2nd first-round pick at pick number 9. I am not trading back, and this is where I say that you guys have never seen this combination before. Maybe you guys have with other content creators or other analysts, but for me personally, every time I read these different mock drafts or see these different mock drafts from different content creators or analysts, I have never seen this creation or combination once in terms of looking at the Chicago Bears mock drafts this offseason. At pick number 9, Bears fans, and hear me out, I am double dipping. If he makes it to number 9, I am double dipping on another wide receiver, and I'm picking wide receiver Odunze out of Washington. Can you imagine, Bears fans, a trio with DJ Moore, Marvin Harrison Jr., and Odunze? This would be absolutely ridiculous. Odunze is 6'3", 215 pounds, and is an absolute dog. First things first, you talk about the massive production he had at Washington. The last 2 seasons, he has had 167 receptions, over 2,700 yards receiving, and 20 touchdowns. Odunze is a natural outside X receiver with crazy speed and hands. He attacks the ball and snatches it from the air. He has elite route running ability. He shows potential as a yak threat as well, very elusive in open space. Generates explosive plays as a smooth vertical receiver as well. In 2023, he was first in deep catches with 23, first in contested catches with 21, and also first in deep yards as well with 783 yards. The dude is a dog. He is a beast. And once again, can you imagine having Marvin Harrison Jr., Rome Odunze on the outsides as your X vertical outside receivers, right? And then you move DJ Moore into the slot. Shane Waldron would have the perfect personnel, the perfect setup to make sure this Chicago Bears offense is explosive. Once again, you have to understand where Shane Waldron is coming from. The Seattle Seahawks, where he had Tyler Lockett, where he had DK Metcalf, where he had Jackson Smith and the Jigba, right? So Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears need to make sure that they're bringing in the right pieces to help Shane Waldron out, to make sure this offense is explosive here in Chicago, to make sure they're mimicking what he had in Seattle. And this would be the perfect way to do it. Can you imagine if the Bears got away with getting 2 of the best wide receivers in this year's NFL draft class? To me, this would be absolutely criminal if we actually do get Marvin Harrison Jr. or Rome Odunze, but I think it would be a home run for Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears. Then in round 2, Bears fans, at pick number 34, obviously I got this second round pick by trading back a couple of spots with the New England Patriots. At 34 overall, I have the Chicago Bears taking their center of the future in Jackson Powers Johnson. This is the best center in this year's NFL draft. He's going to be a plug-and-play player, a day one starter. He plays with so much tenacity, which I absolutely like. He's good against the run. He's good against the pass. This would be the perfect center for the Chicago Bears. Once again, we cannot go into next season without addressing the center position. We cannot go into next season with Lucas Patrick as a starting center for the Chicago Bears offensive line. To me personally, I know a lot of people want a left tackle. I know a lot of people want a guard, and they could still address those positions maybe later on in the draft. But Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears have to figure out the center position. We cannot neglect the center position once again this offseason if you were Ryan Poles. And Jackson Powers Johnson will be the perfect player to bring into Chicago, to plug him right in and be a day one starter for the Chicago Bears offensive line. And quite frankly, Jackson Powers Johnson will be a major upgrade for the Chicago Bears offensive line. Good thing for the Chicago Bears, we'll get a first-hand look at him in the Senior Bowl this year. Obviously, our tight ends coach is actually coaching the offensive line for the Senior Bowl, so he'll get a first-hand look at a guy like Jackson Powers Johnson. Obviously, we snagged a guy like Darnell Wright when he played in the Senior Bowl last year, so I think this would be the same situation. I think we're going to get a good look at him this year, and I think Ryan Poles and Chicago Bears will be really, really impressed at a guy like Jackson Powers Johnson, and he would be a perfect fit to be a future Chicago Bear. All right, Bears fans. So here are my results for this little quick 2-round Chicago Bears mock draft right here on Geek on the Mic. Obviously, we traded down and were able to get a second-round pick this year that turned into Jackson Powers Johnson. Also received a 2025 first and second-round pick. And we also picked up wide receiver Marvin Harrison Jr. and Rome Odunze out of Washington. This would be absolutely ridiculous, Bears fans. You talk about 3 players that can come in right away and make an instant impact to this Chicago Bears offense. Obviously, I know a lot of people are going to be like, well, how about edge rusher? How about guard? How about this? Bears fans, I'm not thinking about any of this. I'm thinking about the possibility of pairing Marvin Harrison Jr. and Rome Odunze together on one offense that already has DJ Moore, Cole Kmet, and Justin Fields, with a new offensive coordinator and Shane Waldron that is going to play to his players' strengths. Man, this is going to be explosive. This would be an explosive offense. And I guarantee you, if the NFL, if all the other teams skip out on Rome Odunze and he's there at 9, Ryan Poles better take a good, long, hard look. I understand there's going to be a lot of talent at edge rusher. There may be Olu Fushanu there, the left tackle out of Penn State. But you have the opportunity to get 2 dogs and Marvin Harrison Jr. and Rome Odunze that can play on the outside and allows DJ Moore to go play that slot position. I think Ryan Poles will take a good, long, hard look, and I think he would understand that if you want to build around Justin Fields, this is the exact way to do it if you are the Chicago Bears. So I would absolutely love this draft. This was actually one of my favorite mock drafts to do because I never really explored this combination, because to me personally, this may be a tad bit unrealistic because I'm not sure if Rome Odunze is going to fall to number 9, but if he does fall to number 9, the Bears should take a good, long, hard look at getting both Marvin Harrison Jr. and Rome Odunze out of Washington. So overall, Bears fans, what grade do you give my 2-round Chicago Bears mock draft today? Right here on Geek on the Mic. Let me know down below in the comment section. As always, if you like these type of videos, continue to hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms, and make sure you share this episode of Geek on the Mic with every single Bears that you know. But other than that, be back for an all-new Bears podcast right here on Geek on the Mic. Thanks, guys, and as always, bear down.
You've been listening to Geek on the Mic, a podcast all about the Chicago Bears. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Thanks, guys, and bear down.